Again, the name of the company you're going to take a look at is Worth Unlimited. And again, my name is Jason Brown. I'm VP of Sales and Marketing. And look, this is such an exciting time for our company because, you know, at the turn of the year, everybody's looking to make a change in their life, maybe physically or financially. And my phone's been buzzing off the hook. All of our analysis hotline, there's more action going on right now than we've seen literally since inception. So, guys, we'll just jump right into this, and you know, I want to start off by just talking about a few reasons for our success. You know, obviously, number one is because of our product. And guys, if you're on this call for the very first time, taking a look at our company, I'm going to take 20 to 25 minutes and go over what we believe is the most incredible financial tool on the market today. And, you know, the best way to describe what our program is to compare it to a GPS or navigation system for a car. You get in your car, you type in where you want to go, and it maps out exactly how to get there. And, of course, if along the way you make a wrong turn or you miss an exit, what to do? It recalculates, and it guides you how to get back on track. Well, folks, our product does the exact same thing for you, but financially. It looks at your starting point today, and it looks at every aspect of your financial life and situation, interest rates, payments, income, and then it guides you mathematically the fastest way to zero. Now, some people say, well, what's the difference between this and just setting myself up a budget? Well, guys, that's about like saying what's the difference between a paper map and a GPS in your car, okay? The GPS constantly recalculates with every turn. Our program recalculates and reconfigures with every single transaction. So our average client saves about 20 years worth of payments on a 30-year mortgage and saves about $100,000 in interest on their debt. Another reason for our success is our target market. Guys, there's probably never been a time in our country where this product is more needed. Anyone who has debt, and I'm not just talking mortgages, I'm talking vehicles, credit cards, student loans, business debt, multiple mortgages, pretty much any situation. And then our distribution channel. Guys, you can have the best product on the market, but if you don't have an effective way to distribute that product, you're not going to move it. It's going to sit on the shelf. And there's no selling involved. That's why people are so excited about a true referral opportunity. And we'll talk about that after I discuss the product. But then the third thing is timing. Guys, you're looking at a company that is seasoned. We've done over $350 million in sales with this product. However, we're launching a brand new campaign, and so, you know, it's a great time to get involved. We're just kind of starting. We're looking for people to help us take this across the country. So that being said, let me tell you a little bit about our background. You know, we started in the mortgage industry back in the late 90s. We're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Became very successful in that industry, but early on in business, folks, we started to see a lot of repeat customers. Now, in most industries, that's a good thing, right? Repeat business. But in the mortgage industry, when somebody's coming back to refi their home every 3 or 4 years, it's usually not because they're in a good situation, but because they've accumulated more what? Debt. And they have to use the equity in their home to keep their head above water. And, of course, that goal of actually getting their home paid off gets further and further away until it becomes pretty much non-existent. You know, my background's in the mortgage industry, and I went to a mortgage seminar here in Salt Lake a while back, and they said of the 65 million American homeowners that exist today, they estimate less than 5% will actually pay their home off. Guys, I don't know about you, but that's depressing to me. The first time I heard that, I just shook my head because, look, it didn't used to be that way, did it? I mean, think of the past generations, our parents, our grandparents. What was the goal with respect to your mortgage? The goal was to pay it off, to own it outright. People associated that with retirement and living the American dream. But it's got to the point where the average American refinances their home every 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, and they're just running on that treadmill, never getting anywhere. And it's awful hard to retire when you have a mortgage payment and are still burdened by debt. So, guys, we have the finished product. Rolled out in 2005. We tested in Denver, Colorado for 2 years. The average client of our Denver test market was already 20% ahead of schedule after a 2-year test run. Because as you guys will start to see, during this presentation, the program starts to instill a discipline in people, and it's almost an unconscious discipline, and you'll see what I mean by that. So it's an exciting market we're in today. We have just under 100,000 clients across the country using our program to become completely debt-free. Back in 2008, I'm sure you've heard of Ernst & Young, largest financial service firm in the world. Every year they have an Entrepreneur of the Year award, and it's a pretty big deal just to be nominated for that award. And anyway, we won it back in 2008. So definitely something we're proud of. Okay, how does the Worth account work? You know, most people that hear about our program and say, wow, my home could be paid off in 8 years or 9 years and save me $100,000 in interest. How? Show me how it works. So guys, that's what I'm going to do. The first goal of our program is, again, to help you pay your home off. But look, we're not just going to focus on mortgages, because most people have other debt as well: credit cards, vehicles, student loans, hospital bills. The software pays it all off. And then the third thing is we provide you coaching. Guys, we don't just throw you a piece of software and say, hey, good luck. We provide you coaching, education. The newest version of the software actually has a wealth building piece. So if you have assets, 401k, IRAs, you can put those in. It'll help track net worth, help you set and reach retirement goals as well. But guys, to really get an understanding of how our program works, you have to have a limited knowledge of mortgages and how they work. So guys, I'm going to give you a 30-second mortgage basics class here. Let's take a $200,000 mortgage at a 6% interest rate. Over 30 years, which is 360 payments, the monthly payment would be $1199.10. Well, month one, when we send in $1199, only $199 of the payment actually goes to principal. $1,000 goes to interest. Month two, $200 of the payment goes to principal. So we just increased the principal portion of our house payment by $1 from month one to month two. Okay, we're really excited about that, I'm sure. After 1 year, we've made $14,000 in house payments, and only $2,400 of it actually went to the principal on the loan. Now, folks, we have people on the call tonight from all over the country, but let me ask you a question. Let's say you bought a home today for $200,000, and 5 years from now you sold it for $250,000. How do you feel you did? You know, most people go, pretty good. I did okay. Well, let's look. 5 years into that mortgage, we've made almost $72,000 in house payments, and only $13,000 of it actually went to principal. Guys, if you sold that house for $250,000, what just happened? You lost money on that deal. You know, some people think after the 15th year on a 30-year mortgage, they're what? Halfway done, right? Well, I'm sorry to tell you that it's actually 21 years in. We've made $300,000 in house payments over 21 years. So we've paid for the house 1.5 times over, and how much do we still owe? We still owe $100,000. We just hit the halfway point. It's not till the 21st through 30th year that you actually have more of your house payment going to principal than to interest on a monthly basis. And if we take that loan to term and pay all 30 years, we actually pay back $431,677 on a $200,000 mortgage. Guys, I hear all the time that our program sounds too good to be true. Get my home paid off in 8 years from 30 with my same budget? Really? That sounds too good to be true. Well, guys, what do you think the bank thought when they came up with this concept? We can get people to pay over twice the amount that we lent them with front-loaded interest. Guys, I can't imagine the bank thinking, man, that's too good to be true. There's nobody will do that. Well, what's ironic about this is that a mortgage is the largest investment that most of us ever make in our life, and it's not set up to benefit you. Now, there's plenty of advantages to home ownership, but the mortgage side is a liability. We need to get that paid off. So let me show you how the Worth account works. Let's pretend that in month one of that mortgage, let's just hypothetically pretend that we could afford to add $5,000 to the payment. Now, again, just bear with me. We're just pretending here. So month one, we send in $61.99. Well, let's see how that affects the loan. We get our statement in the mail the next month, and we now owe $195,000. So It worked, didn't it? We knocked $5,000 off the principal. Our interest rate is still 6%. That didn't change. Neither did our monthly payment. It's still $11.99 a month. But let me show you what did change. We were scheduled to pay for 360 months on that loan. Guys, that one $5,000 principal payment just canceled 23 months or 2 years worth of house payments. The interest we were scheduled to pay was $231,000 just in interest. That one $5,000 principal payment just canceled $28,304 of scheduled interest off the loan. Even if we don't count the $5,000 we sent in, that's a net savings of $23,304. Guaranteed. If you send in $5,000 on a $200,000 mortgage at 6%, month one, you save 2 years worth of house payments and $23,000 in interest. Now, I realize this looks good on paper, right? But what's the problem with this scenario in real life? The $5,000. Who has $5,000, right, to send in on their mortgage? Guys, this is not the worth account, but this is the system that we use. I just wanted to show you how a lump sum payment affects not only the time we pay on the home, but also the amount of interest we're going to pay. So do me a favor, put this example in the back of your mind. I'm going to refer back to it here in just a couple minutes. Now, when our program first came out in 2005, the first versions actually required that the homeowner took out a home equity line of credit, which back in 05, 06, 07, that was okay, right? Because literally everybody could qualify for a line of credit. But what's it like today? They're almost non-existent. I've seen people with great credit and decent LTV or equity in their home still get turned down. And so, guys, we've spent the last couple years upgrading the software to where it'll work with any type of credit line. But what we're most excited to announce is that the most recent, the current version of the software actually works without a line of credit. It works just using the checking and savings account. Now, about 90, maybe 95% of the people using our program today are doing it just using their checking and savings accounts. But for me to help you understand the concept, it's easiest understood if I explain it using a line of credit. I want you to understand the concept, and then I will show you how the software works just using the checking and savings. So, guys, we're going to use a line of credit here. Let's say we have that same $200,000 mortgage, 6% interest rate, and let's say we qualified for a $10,000 line of credit. Now, guys, we have a zero balance on it with $10,000 available to use. What we're going to do with this line of credit is we're going to use it as if it was our primary checking account. So this is a little change in the way that you've always thought to use your checking account, but we're going to pay bills from our line of credit. House payment, car payment, cell phone, groceries, utilities, entertainment. Every dollar we spend, we're going to spend it on the line of credit. So the balance goes up. But as soon as we get a paycheck, what are we going to do with it? We're going to put it against the balance on the line of credit, and the balance is going to go right back down. Now, every time the balance on the line of credit gets down close to zero, the worth account software is going to kick in and prompt you to do, or prompt the homeowner to do, a funds transfer. You're going to hear me use the term funds transfer a lot in the next 10 minutes. A funds transfer is when the software says, okay, pull a sum of money from the line of credit and send it over to the principal on the first mortgage. So in this example, it prompts us to do a funds transfer of $5,000. We just pull $5,000 from our line of credit, send it over to the mortgage. Think back. What does $5,000 do to a $200,000 mortgage at 6%? Guys, we just canceled 2 years' house payments and $23,000 in interest off that mortgage instantly. Now, when I saw this the first time, I said, yeah, but you still owe $5,000 over here. All you did was create one debt to pay off another. Guys, when we run your analysis and show you that your home's paid off in 8, 9, 10 years or less, not only is the first mortgage paid off, but so's any line of credit, any other debt, everything. We don't pay one off and leave you with a big balance over here. How does the line of credit get paid down? Because we're using this as our checking account. So we're depositing our income into this account. Now, guys, it might take us 2 or 3 months to get the line of credit paid back down close to zero, but as soon as it gets close to zero, what happens? It does it again, another funds transfer. Boom, over to the first mortgage. Takes us 2 or 3 months to get the line of credit paid back down. As soon as it's close to zero, what happens? It does it again. So guys, this first mortgage starts to get hammered down by big chunks every 3 or 4 months. And every time we do it, it cancels tens of thousands in interest. And guess what it's costing us in interest on the line of credit over here? Pennies. Almost nothing on the line of credit. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a sample family and run through just a month-by-month scenario, kind of so you can get a feel for how this works. Let's say this family makes $5,000 a month in income, total household income, and that they spend $4,000 a month. So that's everything: house payment, car payment, cell phone, groceries, you name it. So that leaves them about $1,000 discretionary income. Yes, I realize that's not the typical American budget to have $1,000 left over every single month. Guys, I'm just going to use these numbers as the example to help you get the concept. The program works for people that have as little as $50 a month, $20 a month. As long as somebody's covering their monthly expenses on a monthly basis, the program will work for them. Okay, so again, we're just going to use this example and run through a few months of their life. Month 1. The first thing the client's going to actually purchase is a worth account, okay? And again, the cost of the program is actually dependent on how much interest we save the client. So the program could cost as low as $750, and then the high end, the cap, is $3,500. The cost of the program is typically about 1/2 to about 3.5% of the amount of interest we save a client. So if we save a client $150,000 or $200,000 in interest, they may be looking around $3,000, $3,500 for the software. That's a one-time charge, lifetime ownership. All upgrades are included in that cost. So they pay that one time, and then they use the program from here on out. Even if they pay their home off, want to buy another one, they don't have to pay any more money. So month 1, that's the first thing they put on their line of credit is the cost of the software. But it's the first of the month. What do we got to do? We got to pay bills, gas, groceries, expenses, house payment. Everything goes on the line of credit, and now our balance is up to $7,500 because we bought the software and paid all our monthly expenses. So we owe $7,500 on the line of credit, but we deposit our paycheck in there. That lowers the balance to $2,500. Guys, we only get charged interest on the $2,500 balance. At 10%, I'm going to say we're at 10% on our line of credit, the finance charge for the month would be $20.83. Let's carry the $2,500 over to month 2 and just continue living our life as normal. Not any changes. We're still spending $4,000 in living expenses. Our income didn't go up. It's still $5,000. The line of credit is starting to get paid down. We're down to $1,500. We get charged interest at 10%. It's $12.50 for the month. Let's carry the $1,500 over to the next month. We spend $4,000 in living expenses. Don't forget, that includes the mortgage. We still have to make that payment every month. That goes up to $5,500. We deposit our income into the line of credit. It's down to $500. We're almost down to zero on the line of credit. What's getting ready to happen? The software kicks in and says, okay, it's time to do a funds transfer. Let's move $3,675.77 from the credit line and send it over to the mortgage. Now the line of credit goes back up a little bit, and we get charged interest at a higher amount, so $4,100 at 10%. The finance charge is $34. We've been on the program for 3 months, everyone. It's cost us $68.13 in interest on our credit line for 3 months. But let me ask you a question. When we pulled that $3,600 out of our credit line and sent it over to the mortgage, what part of the mortgage did it go? The entire thing went to principal because we already paid all the interest for the month. So the entire amount goes to principal and cancels $17,200 $249 of scheduled interest off the loan, which is actually 18 house payments gone that we will never have to make. Now, looking at the amortization schedule again, we've only been on the loan for 3 months. We started at 360 months. We're down to 339. The principal portion of our house payment, if you guys will remember, was increasing at $1 a month, right? We just jumped ahead $19 in 1 month. Guys, that would have taken you a year and a half of making your payments to get to a point where you had an extra $19 going to principal. And here's what we owe on the loan on our first mortgage, $195,000. Now, here's what we owe on the line of credit. So that just gets carried over to month 4, and we continue living our life. Guys, I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, but the line of credit is acting like our checking accounts. We're depositing all our income and paying all our bills. And look at the balance, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000. The line of credit is starting to get paid back down by our discretionary income. And guys, look what it's costing us in interest. Hardly anything. 18 bucks, 26 bucks. Let's go to month 6. We carry the 2,100 over. 4,000 out, 5,000 in. The line of credit's back down to $1,000. We're almost down to 0. What's getting ready to happen? Yeah, another funds transfer. So this time it tells us to move $2,920.23. Guys, does it make you guess how much to move? No, it tells you to the penny for your situation. By the way, it tells you the day to do it as well. There's absolutely no guesswork. So that amount goes right to principal on the first mortgage, and on a $200,000 mortgage at 6%, it cancels another $12,000 in scheduled interest. That's interest that we were going to have to pay, which is actually 16 house payments canceled, gone. So wrapping up 6 months, and then I'll just jump to the end of the year. It's cost us about $146 in interest on the credit line over the course of 6 months to cancel $29,500 of scheduled interest off the loan, which is actually 37 house payments gone. Guys, if we look at the amortization schedule again, we're down to 323 months left. We've only been on the loan for 6 months. The principal portion of our house payment increased again another $15. Hey guys, I'm going to tell you, this whole process starts to get addicting to you as a homeowner. I have people that I put on this program, you know, literally 4 or 5 years ago that still call me or email me once a year, once every other year, just to tell me when, you know, where they're at on their payoff, how much time they have left. I have one lady from my hometown in Colorado that actually looks forward to getting her mortgage statement in the mail on a monthly basis because she's excited to see how much principal has been paid down. And we owe $192,000. So guys, in 6 months, we've paid down almost $8,000 in principal on the loan. So hopefully you're starting to get the concept. I'm going to go ahead and jump to month 12. As you can see in month 9, another funds transfer came in. Actually, let me point out one thing before I get to month 12. You know, I realize we're making this look good on paper because we're keeping our income and expenses the same. Does that ever happen in real life? No, income might stay the same, but expenses are all over the board. Well, let's say in month 11, we overspent. Guys, we made 5 but spent 6. What does the software do? Well, again, it recalculates with every single transaction. So it realizes we overspent. Chances are we were going to do a funds transfer next month. We might actually still do it. It's just going to be a smaller amount because we overspent. Or if we really overspent, it might push that funds transfer back 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks until the line of credit is paid down to the optimal level. Okay, month 12, again, we're down to 1,000. We know what's coming. Funds transfer. It tells us the day to do it, the amount to move. That goes right to principal on the mortgage and cancels another $10,000 in interest. And guys, I realize I'm throwing a lot of big numbers at you here, and hopefully you're following me. Look at this. We just canceled $10,000 in interest off our mortgage literally in a day. If one of your lenders today, whether it's a credit card or vehicle or mortgage, called you up and literally forgave $10,000 of interest to you, would that be a big deal? It would. That's actually 14 house payments gone. So in 1 year, it's cost us about $300 in interest on a line of credit, $297 over the course of a year to cancel $50,000 in future interest payments, which is 53 house payments gone. Guys, even if we stopped using the program today, do those 53 payments come back? No, they're gone. We're already at 295 months left regardless. Now, of course, we're not going to stop using the program. We're going to get this thing paid off in 10 years. The principal portion of our house payment increased, rather than $1 a month, it increased almost $76. Do you realize that's $76 a month going towards principal that you wouldn't have had otherwise? And we owe $184,000 on the loan. So, guys, it took us 1 year to pay down the principal of the mortgage over 15 grand. If we had just been making our house payment, which is what most people do, we'd still owe $197,500 on the loan. It would take us 5.5 years to accomplish what we did in 1 year using the Worth account. Now, guys, the home on this example is paid off in 10.4 years. By the way, that's the line of credit as well. And we're saving the client $160,000 in interest. Now, I want you to take a look at the actual software. Across the top is what we call the dashboard. For my wife and I, this is by far the most addicting window of the entire thing. Your payoff, because it's constantly changing. Guys, I went to a mortgage broker's office today, and I presented him with this product, and as soon as he saw this, he just said, man, so that's how people get addicted. They see that number. That is so exciting. And you can go in there and throw scenarios at it. Let's say you wanted to take a vacation, and you were going to spend more money than you usually do. Tell it how much you're going to spend. The software will reconfigure and tell you how much time that'll add. Or if you get your tax return and you throw it in here, that's money above and beyond what you normally get. It might drop a year overnight. It is. It's just incredible. So, guys, a couple features about the program. Live transaction updates. You know, the older versions of the software, you had to actually log in manually and tell it when you spent money, where you spent it, how much you spent. Now it actually links right up with your accounts. So if you go to the grocery store and swipe $25 on your credit or debit card by that night, it shows up executed in your software. And guys, it tracks every tool. Again, that broker today that I met with, he said, so, you know, even those people that are paycheck to paycheck, chances are they've got $100 a month that just kind of slipped through the cracks that they really can't account for. And guys, the software catches every penny. The majority of people that get on our program, within a month or two, they're like, gosh, I actually had more money than I thought I did. Well, in just 3 years, our clients have paid down over $400 million in principal. And guys, I keep meaning to go in here and change this because about a week ago we did another report, end of the year report, and we have now surpassed a $500 million principal pay down. So we're excited about that. And 2013, we're growing exponentially. Our clients are going to pay down that much in 2013 alone. So now, how does it work on other debt? You know, people say, well, look, I get it. I get how it works on a mortgage, but look, I have credit cards, revolving furniture loan, a mortgage, 2 or 3 vehicles, some revolving debt. Every debt expert out there has their philosophy on how you should pay this down, right? And if you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. But look, some people say the highest interest rate, some people say the lowest balance, some people say the highest monthly payment. Look, the software looks at every characteristic of each debt. For example, it does look at the balance on the loan, but it looks at the term. Is it a 5-year, 10-year, 20, 30-year loan? Guys, credit cards are 20-year amortized loans. If you're making the minimum monthly payment, you will never pay it off. What is the interest rate? It takes into account the minimum monthly payment and how can we free up the most money the fastest. And then, of course, it takes into account adjusting interest rates. Have you ever had one of those cards or loans where it started out at low 0% and then all of a sudden shot through the roof on you? The program would recalculate and tell you exactly what to do. So guys, I'll end with this, and then we'll jump over to the compensation and what entails becoming an agent with our company. But so again, wrapping it up, here's how it works. We have our line of credit. We just paid bills and expenses, so the balance is up a little bit. Our income comes into our checking account, just like it does today, and we hop online and roll it into the line of credit, so the balance goes down. Next month, same thing. Income comes into checking, we roll it into the line of credit, balance goes down. So it took us 2 or 3 months, but we got the line of credit paid down to that optimal transfer point. What's getting ready to happen? The software kicks in and prompts the funds transfer. So it tells us the day to do it, the amount to move, but guys, check this out. We have other debts besides our mortgage. So in the beginning, those funds transfers may not go to the mortgage. They might go to the credit card, or in this case, the motorcycle. Well, 2 or 3 more funds transfers and the motorcycle is what? Paid off. And that $200 a month motorcycle payment is now more discretionary income. And so the funds transfers start to get bigger, and they happen more often, and it does. It starts to get exciting. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that the program does not require a line of credit. In fact, probably 90% of the people buying our program today are doing it this way with just checking and savings. Now, I showed you with the line of credit so that you could get the concept and see how this works. Let me show you how it works using checking and savings. The first thing it does is has you come in and set a minimum reserve. Guys, that's your safety net. You tell the software how much you always want in those accounts, and it will never have you move money below it. And if you did happen to dip into that reserve, it will build it back up for you before it prompts any extra money to the debt. So here's how it works, checking and savings. Income comes into our checking account. We go ahead and pay bills like normal out of our checking account. Whatever's left over, if it's $287.22, whatever's left over, the software has us kick it into the savings account, and we start to build a balance. So guys, every penny gets captured. Next month, same thing, income comes in, we pay all of our expenses. Now, we might use a credit card and then pay it off at the end of the month, but ultimately, the money's coming out of the checking account. Whatever's left over this month gets kicked into savings. Now, guys, think back. With the line of credit, the discretionary income was paying down the balance. With the savings account, it's building a balance. So in the same amount of time it would have taken us to pay down that line of credit, we built up enough money to do what? The exact same funds transfer. Again, it tells us the day to do it, the amount to move, but check again to which debt to send the funds transfer to. So in this month, it actually tells us to send it to the vehicle. Now, the software does not move the money for you, folks. You still are in control of your finances. It just tells you exactly what to do, when to do. It's constantly monitoring your accounts, making sure that every dollar you have is working in your favor mathematically. Now, guys, one of the most exciting parts about our program and selling our program is that we're able to run an analysis for potential clients. So, guys, we can plug in, hey, what do you owe on your mortgage? What do you owe on your debts? What's your income? And the program will actually print off an analysis showing exactly when everything is paid off using the program. And I actually have a sample analysis here of an actual client that I'm going to go over with you as soon as I can pull that up on my screen. Again, this is an actual client. We've changed the name. They don't actually live on debt-free lane. But these folks, this is more the typical American situation. They have a mortgage. They have 27 years left on it. They owe $187,000. Their monthly payment's $1,200. Okay, they have a car loan of $22,500, $450 a month payment. Between a Visa and a MasterCard, they have about $11,000 of credit card debt. And guys, they make the minimum monthly payments. They have a Home Depot account. They may add 10 or 15 bucks to the payment, but they have a Home Depot account. They owe $1,250 on at $75 a month. I want to scroll down and show you their income. Between husband and wife, they make about $4,400 a month. They have $2,025 being spent up here, right, on their mortgage and credit cards and vehicles. They have about $150 a month of discretionary income after paying all their other living expenses. So the software does take into account gas and groceries and utilities and everything else. They have about $150. Let me ask you, if you have $150 of discretionary income, are you sending any extra money in on your debts? No, you're not. And folks, look at what the program's going to do for them. They have 27 years left on their mortgage. We get them paid off in 9.7. But what's paid off in 9.7 years? Everything. Not just the mortgage, the vehicle, the credit cards, the Home Depot account. We're saving this client $114,000 in interest and 15, almost 16 years worth of payments. Folks, I got to tell you, these people got emotional when I showed them this analysis. And what I would urge you to do, if you're looking at this as an opportunity, we're going to go into that right now, but if you're looking at this as from the product standpoint, if you have any debt, let's run your analysis and let us tell you. There's no obligation. We don't take any account numbers. We simply enter in what you owe, what's your interest rates, and we'll be able to tell you when everything would be paid off using the program. Well, guys, if you're on this call tonight, chances are the person who invited you thought you might be interested in sharing this program with others, because if you're anything like me, when you saw that program and how incredible it is, you instantly think of 10 people that need this thing and could use it. Guys, real funny story. The other day we had a meeting, a gentleman in the front row, an older guy. He saw the presentation. He goes, "This is incredible, man. I got to get my kids on this." He's a little older, and his kids are just now buying homes. And I said, "Well, what about you, sir? Do you not have a mortgage?" And he said, "Oh, yeah, but mine's only got 4 years left. I'm almost paid off." And I said, just jokingly, I said, "Yeah, I'd hate to have it paid off in 2. Guys, we ran his analysis, 8 months. 8-month payoff. So anyway, there's just almost everybody's situation can fit using the software. But again, coming on as an agent with our company, we have the most incredible product. There currently is no other product on the market that does what we do. So it's kind of a unique thing where you actually get to sell the best product on the market in a certain industry. What's our target market? Everybody who has debt. And again, there's more consumer debt now than there ever has been in history. Our distribution or our sales process is on our next slide. Guys, there's no selling, which is exciting. The next thing is management opportunities. Again, I mentioned earlier, we're looking for people to help expand this across the country, and these webinars are a great way to do it. If you're on the East Coast and you know somebody on the West Coast, they log into this webinar, either buy the program or sign up as an agent, you get credit. That goes under you. There's no territories, and we're talking extremely generous income in a matter of minutes a day. So let's talk about our sales process. We go off of referral selling. I was talking to an agent today from California, and Jonathan said to me, "Man, what I truly love about this opportunity is it's truly a referral system." Because, guys, referring people to things that you're passionate about just comes natural, does it not? How many times have you read a good book or went to a good restaurant or watched a good movie and you just instantly had to tell people about it? Guys, my wife, as soon as we walk out of a movie, whether it's good or not, she's on the phone with her sister and her mom and saying, "Yeah, we give it a 5, we get a 7. We just tell people about things. All you have to do is say to somebody, "Hey, listen, here's an incredible program to help you get out of debt. I don't know your debt situation, nor do I want to, but call this number. Here's what the program is doing for us." Guys, they call in. We take their savings analysis. There's no obligation, no account numbers, but then our coaches will review that savings analysis with your referral. We explain the program. We run through this presentation that you just saw. Guys, the best part about the presentation you just saw is that you will never have to give it. And then our home office coach actually closes the deal and collects payment. And then guess what happens? You get a check. So for that 5 to 10 minute conversation, for you referring someone over, and we close the deal. Now look, we're going to work as hard as we can to close every deal that you refer, but our average right now is between 50 and 60% closing percentage. So, you know, the better job you do in referring. Now, look, we give you all the tools. You get websites, you get videos, everything you need to give an effective referral, and then we'll do all the work from that point forward. Let me show you just on kind of an Excel spreadsheet, which one of the owners is John Washenko is his name, and he is truly an Excel spreadsheet guru, and he's actually taken our entire compensation plan and put it in an Excel spreadsheet where you can plug in and say, okay, if I had this many sales and this many agents had this many sales, how much money would I make? And this is actually posted in the back office, guys, and it's extremely addicting. You come in here and you put in the sales and the team, and pretty soon you're a millionaire on paper. So, but let me show you how this works. Everybody starts out as an agent with our company, and then when there's been $4,000 in volume in your entire team, now you could do all 4,000 yourself. Now again, if average deal is about $3,000, that's a sale and a half to get you there. And you do have to have one personal activation to get to supervisor. The next position up is called director. Now you're going to want to remember this position because I'm going to show you a promotion in just a second. To become a director, you have to have had $12,000 in volume, which is roughly about 3 to 4 deals, or maybe 4 to 5 deals. 2 of those actually have to be made by you. The rest can come from a team. The next position up is managing director. You need $28,000 in volume, or roughly maybe 9, 10 sales to get to that position. The next position is executive director. But guys, what's exciting about this position? It's kind of the first management level position. You have to have had $60,000 of volume with 8 personal sales. Now, personal sale is when you personally referred someone in and they bought the program. If an agent comes in below you and they buy the program, you get credit for that activation as well. If you look at the percentages, as a supervisor, I make 4% override on any agents in my team. Now, guys, are you required to go out and sign up agents? No. You never are required to, but look, it's going to build organically. People love our program. This will be the first product that you ever sell that somebody will call you up a month later and say, listen, this thing's awesome. My brother wants on it, my family members, my coworkers, my neighbors. People can't help but talk about saving $100,000 in interest in 20 years worth of payments. And so as people come on as agents underneath you, we compensate you on those levels. 4% and 2% as a supervisor. As you can see, a director makes 6, 2, and 2. A managing director, 6, 4, and 2. Now, as soon as you hit the executive director position, you actually pick up 2% group volume override, which means you get paid an additional 2% as deep as your group goes. So not only does it bump this to 8, 6, and 2, but you get 2% as deep as your group goes. So it doesn't matter if somebody's 15 levels down. If a sale's made, you pick up 2%. Now, just to show you what kind of math we're talking about here, and guys, you can log in, and if you click right here, it allows you to change it to referrals. I like to do it on referrals because this way you can say, you know what, if I talk to 3 people in a week, let's say I refer over 3 people a week, just to have their analysis run. I'm not saying even they all buy. In fact, we're only saying that the home office closes 1 out of 3. We're actually almost double that. Your check for the month would be $3,100 by referring 3 people a week, and the home office only closes 1 out of 3, so there's a real good chance you'll make more than that. Now, if people underneath you come on as agents, again, let's say we've got 5 agents underneath us, each referring over 2 people in a week. Not 3, 2. 1 on Monday and 1 on Thursday. So nobody's jumping in, cranking this thing up. Everybody's just doing a little bit. Your income instantly shoots up to $5,000. And guys, we're at the managing director position. Now, personal sales are, chances are it's all done by volume. So if you have, again, $0 to $6,000 in volume, you make 15%. And the more volume you turn in a month, you can make up to 30% commission. So typically you're looking anywhere from $300 to about $900 per personal sale. Now, guys, before I move on, I'm going to show you some promotions we're running. The top position in our company is called partner. And that's exactly what it is. We had consultants in the industry take a look at our comp plan, and they said, now, when you say partner, what do you mean by that? Well, guys, what do you think we mean by partner? You actually get to share in company revenue when you reach the partner position. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now and actually ways of getting there early. So remember executive director position, because again, one of the promotions has to do with that. So let me bring back this slide, and then we'll jump into the partner pool. So as soon as you hit the partner position, again, you get to share in company revenues. Now, guys, we had originally allocated 6.25% of every sale to go into the partner pool. Well, at the turn of the year, everybody's starting to step up their game, including us. We've actually changed that to 9.25%. I mean, how exciting is that? 9.25% of every single sale in the entire company, not just your organization, is going into this pool, and the partners are going to share that on a monthly basis. That's absolutely huge. Now, getting to partner. Some people look at that and go, wow, that's exciting, but geez, partner might be 2 or 3 years away. Well, I agree, but would it still be worth it if it took you 2 years to get there? Okay, but some people don't have the patience. I'm one of them. So we introduced a fast track to partner promotion. If in your first 6 months of becoming an agent, you reach the executive director position, and I'll show you again what it takes to get there. If you reach that in 6 months, we're actually going to allow you to participate in the partner pool. Now we're going to take 50% of that pool and we're going to make it available for the people that hit the fast track. This promotion applies for all agents that sign up now through the end of February. So guys, this is a short window. Don't waste time. You have 6 months to hit partner pool. If you're seeing this and you're already an agent and you didn't get in on it, we're actually going to go back to October 1st. So if you signed up October 1st through January 1st, your 6 months starts January 1. So again, we're letting you cheat a little bit. If you've already got some agents and some sales underneath you, you've got a little head start in the game. But look, what a tremendous opportunity to reach the partner pool. Now, what does it take to get to executive director? Again, agent to supervisor, 4,000 in volume with 1 sale. Supervisor to director, 12,000. That's total. That's not additional. So 4, then 8 to 12. So again, that's cumulative, and there's no time frame. However long it takes you to get that between you and your team. To get to managing director, it's 28,000 in volume with 4 personal activations, and then executive director is $60,000 in volume with 8 personal sales. Guys, that's roughly 20 sales in, again, assuming the average deal is about $3,000, that's about 20 sales in 6 months to get there between you and all your agents. Now, to give people some incentive not to take their foot off the gas, let's say you hit that executive director in 6 months, you get 50% of the pool. Well, check this out. We're going to give you a chance to make that even bigger. As you get to the next position in the compensation plan, which is managing executive, you get to access a little more of that pool, 60%. Guys, the difference there when the pool is going to be as big as it is extremely significant. The next position up is senior managing executive, gets 70%. Managing executive directors get 80%. And then, guys, we're going to reserve that last 20% just for the partners. So, again, if you're a partner, you get to access the entire pool, and it's paid out according to volume. And that's done on a monthly basis. So, guys, we're excited. This has created buzz like you can't believe right now. But we have one more, guys, as if that promotion wasn't exciting enough. And this is another short window here. It's called the direct director promotion. If you get involved within your first 30 days, you have 1 activation. So you either refer someone over to the company who buys the program. Now, they have to at least have a mortgage, so it has to be a platinum or platinum plus. If they don't have a mortgage, they buy the gold package. That does not qualify you for this promotion. You get promoted all the way up to director. So that actually cancels out about $12,000 of volume with 1 activation. And guys, what the owners of the company are allowing to count as your first activation, your own purchase. Guys, we walk our talk. We have such passion for helping people get out of debt. And look, you will acquire that as well if you don't already have it. But the first step is get on the program. If you buy your own, that will count as your first activation, okay, and allow you in that promotion. If you don't buy the program, again, we're not requiring people to buy the program. If you refer someone over and they purchase the product, then that also counts in the promotion, okay? Now, if you're already an existing agent, we're going to give you 30 days. If you haven't, received that promotion yet, we're going to give you 30 days to have an activation, and that promotion to director will still apply for you. Okay. Well, guys, to give you an idea what that does, so again, here's that same screen that shows you how to get up to managing executive. We're going to allow people to get to director with one activation. So one activation takes them all the way to director and raises 12,000 in volume. Actually, they get to count the 12,000. So instead of having to have 28,000 for managing director, whoops, that bumps it down to 16,000. Instead of having to 48,000 to get to executive director, or excuse me, 60,000, it's down to 48,000. So guys, we hope you're excited about what you've seen tonight. It's $149 to become an agent with our company. Guys, in your first 30 days, if you make a referral, we actually refund your $149 as well. So we pay you the $300, $400, $500 commission on the deal and refund your $149 if you make an activation in your first 30 days. But you get your website, you get, we have a back office as well with all the documentation you need. We do live presentations across the country as well as these webinars. And folks, we sure appreciate you logging in tonight. If you have any questions, get with the person who invited you on the call. And again, enroll in this assault on debt with us. We're so passionate about what we're doing. The owners of the company have already helped, again, hundreds of millions of dollars of debt be paid down, and they're just getting started. We're in soft launch phase of our company right now. Again, we're in a position where we have just a few hundred agents across the country right now excited about our opportunity. So now's a great time to get involved. Please, again, we do these calls every Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, we do a training call at the same time, which is 6 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So get involved, sign up as an agent. Tomorrow night will be an agent training. We'll go over these promotions again, but we'll also go over how to get involved, how to get started, what's the best way to get the ball rolling, and frequently asked questions that brand new agents have. So again, everyone, I sure hope you've had a great start to the new year. This is such a phenomenal opportunity, and I'm grateful for you guys logging in. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and again, we've had some audio problems, so Spence, I'm going to see if you're there. I didn't hear any introduction in the beginning, so Spence, are you there? I still
Jason,
don't.
I am. Can you hear me?
There we go. I can. Spence, how are you? Well, Spence, I'll turn the time back over to you. I'll turn the time back over to you just to end the call, bud. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. We sure appreciate Jason and this great presentation this evening. Can I just reiterate how fabulous these promotions are that we've got running now? We are really wanting to help jumpstart each of your careers as Worth agents and really get more and more people on the Worth account, because we know that as that happens, that people will start to begin to retire their debt sooner, and they will be more secure financially, and we'll be able to help households throughout the United States be better off. And so we appreciate the time that you've been able to spend with us this evening. We're thankful that you've been able to have some interest, and we wish all those new agents who were with us, new prospects this evening who have been with us, that get with your sponsoring agent and talk about signing up and becoming an agent. And for everyone on the call, if you're not on the Worth account, make that a serious consideration in your lives as you manage your household finances and begin to spread this message across the country. Again, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Appreciate it. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we'll have our agent training call. We really